Welcome my friends back to Marvel Snap. We have an incredible list to break down for you guys today. Built it on stream with everybody on our previous live stream. This one is called Kingpin Control, leaning into the incredible upside of Kingpin and also remembering, as is always the case right now, Aero is Bay, even more so right now alongside Miles Morales, because you can cram the two of them together as a turn 6 combo that is effectively going to crank up the power of the Aero up to 13 strength. That's even bigger than the Magneto, but we have so much flexibility here in terms of being able to manipulate where the opponent's cards are actually landing on the board. The opponent's deck chooses what cards they're going to play, and then we choose where they go on the board. And yes, chat leveraged some insane peer pressure on me to be able to purchase Absorbing Man with my hoarded up token so that we could really double down on this list. So right out the gate, if you don't have Absorbing Man, I recommend running either the Hobgoblin or the Rescue in his place, but we'll talk side deck at the end. And by side deck, I mean cards that you could run as common replacements if you're missing any of the pieces of this list. Also, stay tuned till the end because we have a very special giveaway that we want to break down for you guys. But now let's look at the list. The core of the list is Kingpin. When a card moves here on turn 6, destroy it. Being able to, on this turn 6, level the cards that the opponent has placed down to the board. Incredibly pivotal card, but requires a lot of setup to really be able to make it work. Now, the thing is that this deck does have the setup. One piece of setup that we have to have is that the location Kingpin is at has to have open space to then pull opposing cards into his space on turn 6. So to be able to accomplish this, we have the Juggernaut knocking opposing cards away on the earlier turns to keep those spaces open, and then the Spider-Man allowing us to be able to block them from playing there on the final turn, guaranteeing they have to play somewhere else. Aero or Magneto then pulls in the cards from the other locations, and Kingpin stops them to pieces. We also have the Absorbing Man. This is where we're doubling down. He can copy either the Juggernaut or the Spider-Man, the Aero. He can grab these abilities that they have been using to just continue to keep these spaces open. We can Spider-Man on 4, Absorbing Man on 5, and just lock the opponent out of playing to this location for the entire latter half of the game. If we have been able to lock down a location with Storm earlier, then that is the ideal situation for us to be in. So we of course have the Storm with the ability to rip the opposing cards that are defending Storm away. We can very reliably win her location. Storm, Juggernaut, also incredible. Sunspot, Iceman, these guys just the premier 1-drops right now, able to do so much work for us. Daredevil, letting us know what the opponent is planning on turn 5, can help us set up our control pieces. The Polaris can rip the rug of Invisible Woman out from several decks, can also combo with the Kingpin. She is a very solid card and can be an early activation to get an opposing card to move to be able to get that discounted Miles Morales to work in wherever we can. And then our big finishers, the Aero, on reveal, move all enemy cards played this turn to this location, and the Magneto, move all opposing 3 and 4 costs to this location. These are the killers that bait the opponent, hook them into Kingpin's clutches, and then he barrages them with this beautiful pirate variant art. Let's dive into battle. Diving in here to be able to showcase the gameplay, we've got the deck list on up above. As I said, if you don't have the Absorbing Man, you can swap in Rescue, and honestly, that might be better anyway. The Rescue represents a lot more points on the board. Your goal is to play Rescue on 4 and then Spider-Man on 5, lock the opponent out of being able to answer at that location. And that does shore up a weakness that the list has in losing to decks that just vomit a lot of points onto the board. We want to be able to lock down a location and then manipulate their cards into a losing situation after that. But the Rescue will help you answer with a stack of points yourself. Got the Patriot already deployed.
Wind, aid my hand.
How can I kill your Patriot? Well, with my Kingpin. Drop him down. Hope to find the Magneto. Magneto pulling Patriot would be able to kill him. If they are running the Ultron version of the list, they don't necessarily care. What? Lady Sif? What? Lady Sif cut Ultron. Why? Why is Lady Sif here trying to kill something? I don't understand. We do have the Aero. Oh, it's so odd. I think I just Spider-Man. And then they've got the Mystique. Not targeting. Okay, I don't know what I think the opponent's game plan has just fallen to pieces here. It's what it seems to me. Because now, whatever they lay down, Aero will just be able to yoink. Kingpin will be able to kill. And he will kill unrevealed cards. We won't even get to see what this was. It's done. It's over. We win. We should have snapped. We should have snapped. Victory. That Aero combo, following initiative is also very important for the list. Being able to understand if Juggernaut can take effect prior to the opposing card revealing can be pivotal because of how, say, like a Wong stacked location, if Juggernaut's going to be able to break that up or if they'll still get the benefit. Also Aero with the yoinks. Really fun stuff. Into another and a weird world. Okay, so we'll just play the opponent's list. Ironheart. Are you playing a Silver Surfer list? If you're playing a Silver Surfer list and I start in hand with Polaris and Kingpin, I will happily accept the challenge. No, Black Panther, it's on reveal. I'll play the Daredevil. We do have Kingpin Polaris. They've got the armor. We could pull the armor and then not be able to kill anything. Or we could pull the Sunspot, which would be a lot more valuable. We could also set up the double. Okay, I see things coming together here. You get the double Kingpin popping, and then you can... I was about to say, because this is the same variant of Storm, they just haven't leveled it up as I have. I was like, what is happening to Weird World? The Nightcrawler lets me get the doubling and then move them out of the way to keep on playing the Sinister London, and Ironheart comes in here, gets the buffs. Black Panther doubles and then hops with the double to power and then bumps up again. And then the Polaris just tries to ping-pong a couple destructions on the Kingpin. Now the Kingpin is double-edged. If the opponent, which they did find their Wong, they get our Aero, they get our Magneto, and they shake up the line of cards that we have constructed. We could see some friendly fire on the Kingpin side. They've got that double Wong. Yuck. Wow, going all Tiger Spirits. Alright. They snapped. I think we have a prayer. They're gonna fill the entire board right here with the Tiger Spirits, right? Because each one spawns 2. Bounce. Bounce. Weird World is done and I'm ahead. Bounce. Bounce. Sinister London is done. And I'm looking good at only -3. And there's the Scorpion. Alright, well. And we have the initiative. Easy, easy. We piloted their deck better than they could have. Do they have anything that gives the buffs? No, because we got their Ironheart. So what do they have here that would make them win? Is there actually something, or am I just not thinking about it? Nothing that I have would benefit them in terms of our deck that they were able to draw. And then this flipped first, so they've already played everything that was in their opening hand as well. I guess I just let it run its course. I'm not gonna... I think we'd let it run here. Yep. Pull the Sunspot, sure. The one location that didn't have a Kingpin to let us watch the Stomp. Anyway. I think if I'd snapped, I would have scared them off. So we played it out without snapping to gain the 4 cubes. That's where you get into the deep mind games of what was actually better. I don't know if that's necessarily the best advice, but we won 4 cubes for it, so here we are. Here we are, no Kingpin in hand, but Storm Juggernaut. This is a combo made in heaven, and then with the Miles Morales kicker. Okay. Without Kingpin showing himself, we're gonna have to find our win condition. Another option, haha, playing Kingpin to New York is pretty spicy. Because you get into these fun situations where maybe the opponent played a Goblin, you can pop the Goblin, get those negative points off your board. Very fun. I'll go Iceman. I want to take all the doubling that I can because we're storming Shuri's lab. I've got the Daredevil. Just maintaining tempo here. I want to be able to have initiative, because if I maintain initiative, the Juggernaut, well, it doesn't really matter if the Juggernaut kicks, in this case, before they flip. But here we go. You can do some wild things of Absorbing Man copying Storm, and then 2 locations are locked down. Really make the opponent flounder on how they're going to follow up and match what you're doing. Absorbing Man, a lot of potential here. Still trying to wrap my mind around his best cases, but the copy of the Spider-Man from turn 5 to, well, yeah, lock them out on 5 and 6 from being able to answer is so solid. Scarlet Witch flips New York. You didn't want to change flooding? I feel like changing flooding was your answer. That was your grail. Because now, a Juggernaut, that will give me, let me establish Kingpin Spider-Man on next turn. Opponent has snapped. Do they have like the Shang-Chi to be able to kill the monster, and they see themselves developing some kind of enormous advantage here? Do they see another way to get back into flooding? Are you holding Killmonger to kill both Iceman and Sunspot? Nope. Just playing the Spider-Man. I didn't need to play there anyway. They did dodge the Juggernaut, so the Spider-Man was not discounted. Makes me a little sad. I'll go Kingpin. And then Daredevil. We're already ahead at Flooded. We don't need Sunspot ticking up any farther. We do still win if they play the Killmonger with the 5 points represented on the Juggernaut and the Storm to their 4 on the Daredevil. How did you get buffed? Oh, the Shuri's Lab, of course. Not a great memory for what locations we started the game with. Professor X trying to lock us down. Yeah, and they succeed. No free cards for either side. What do we top deck? Spider-Man. Not great. What do they have as a chaser? We needed the Magneto or the Aero. I mean, it's the best that we can do. But it's really terrible. Yeah, we'll bounce. We'll bounce on this one. Well played. Sunspot, the Daredevil. Now there is Kunlun, so we want to be careful not to move cards here. Juggernaut we can't control, obviously, but the other cards, we want to pull cards away to the other locations rather than giving them the free buffs. And then I'll go Daredevil. We could Storm Death's Domain, or we could leave it locked away. Hold the Storm as a surprise, perhaps. Nova Roma, give us our card. We get the Juggernaut. And the Spider-Man. Okay. I like the idea of just having Spider-Man, Absorbing Man, and then maybe a Juggernaut clear to finish. We could also Storm. I like holding Storm as well, though. Let's... maybe we just pass for the power on the Sunspot here, actually. We have a Typhoid Mary? You played Psylocke to jump the energy curve to play Typhoid Mary. Incredible. All Spider-Man. They play straight to Death's Domain with the Venom. He dies brilliantly. Okay, is this a bot? Bot behavior spotted. Or is that just a misclick and they wanted the Typhoid Mary? I don't know. They snap back after... okay, you've got Sarah now. Sure. You do have Sarah. We can yoink the Sarah, which lets me combo Storm Miles Morales next turn. Or it's the Absorbing Man. plus like Iceman. Prevent the opponent from being able to play here at all. All they can do is play to Kunlun. And then on turn 6, yeah, this is probably better. We can just play the Storm Juggernaut together to Death's Domain. I don't know about the Juggernaut. Juggernaut could kick an unwanted guest to Nova Roma. Make him sweat a little bit about what's happening at Kunlun. Alright, Storm Kingpin. 8 cubes. I mean, the Sarah list probably runs a location fixer, right? To be able to get into Death's Domain, they either play the Storm themselves or they're going to play... what are you doing with Typhoid Mary, though, on this list? I don't understand the Typhoid Mary. The Psylocke, the Sarah, the Venom to eat the Typhoid Mary made sense. The opponent thinks that even with the misplay of losing the Venom to Death's Domain, they can claw back. Decaying rapidly, they say. I'll take it. One card to Death's Domain.
Aid my hand.
You played Sarah into 1 card? The opponent's motives can truly not be fathomed. Good game, my friend. Good game. Here is the deck in all of its glory. I think we got to showcase a number of the tricks playing around Storm, Juggernaut, and then being able to have the double lockdown Spider-Man into Absorbing Man and some very satisfying pings off of the Kingpin to be able to lock up a couple games. Now let's talk, as promised, side deck. So we've got the rescue that I've alluded to several times. You could also slot in Hobgoblin. This one pairing very well with Daredevil. If you don't have the Daredevil, don't run the Hobgoblin. But when you know where the opponent's turn 5 is going, the Hobgoblin can really bust up their strategies and cause all sorts of mayhem. You don't want to run Green Goblin, because Green Goblin can get picked up by the Magneto in that final turn, but the Hobgoblin is out of range. And then there's also the trusty Kraven, able to get buffed when cards move to his location that's either side. They don't have to just be allies, they can be enemies. And so coming in as a 2-drop, if you have the Polaris, and then maybe Absorbing Man copies the Polaris, you start stacking up this Kraven, Juggernaut, all of the effects that where we are moving cards, you pair up Kingpin and the Kraven together, and you can see some good stat efficiency. Just hitting 2-4 is solid for a 2-drop. Getting the 2-6 is great value, and you can make that happen in this list. If you guys have any inspiration on how to flesh out the side deck for this list, then let me know in the comments down below. And now, as promised, our giveaway. If you guys like this video, then you will be receiving in your inbox for free a variant art of Kingpin created by artificial intelligence. So this guy, I guess the AI knows who the character is. He's got the crown, no face. This one's just kind of bizarro that they started making some extra faces off that they just cropped them to pieces and wrote N over and over again at the bottom. Stuff of nightmares. But of course, my favorite, this one, I think the AI understood the assignment perfectly. Kinnin, and it's a pin. It's perfect. It has been so much fun to showcase this list. As I said, it was built and tested on stream. If you guys want to come hang out, join us on stream, then subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified when we go live next. We have a ton of other Marvel Snap projects in the works, so I'm really excited for what is to come here in December. Till next time, thank you guys for watching. Keep on snapping.